Alright, so today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be making our planets. So this is kind of what a generic one is going to look like in the end. So let's start off by making a new one. So File, New, and I usually just pick A3 and I'm going to pick a landscape orientation. And then hit OK. Alright, so the first thing I want to do is fill my background with a dark blue color. So I'm going to just drag it over my canvas. And I'm going to double click on my fill color and I'm just going to enter the following numbers 1E1, E3A, and that can be any kind of generic dark blue color. If you want to lock the background at any point in time, all you have to do is go to Object, Lock, Selection, and that way so your background doesn't move around. But you can always go to the layers and unlock it at any point in time. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll over here to our blank side and I'm going to just make a really thin rectangle, and then I'm going to take my mouse, hold Alt, and just bump it straight down and hit Control D to duplicate multiple times. It doesn't need to be any specific number. So what I want to do next is I want to make one big and one a little bit shorter. So I'm going to keep the first one long, and the second one I'm going to make short by holding Alt, and you'll see both sides move in. And you want to alternate between those. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can make some a little bit smaller, some a little bit bigger, but you want to do that to every other one. And you want to end up with the last one being long. And you can delete the excess ones if need be. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to select our whole selection, so it highlights in blue, and then we're going to go to Window, Pathfinder, and what we're going to do is we're going to hit Unite here to make them all into one compound shape. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take our direct selection tool, and you'll see these little dots here. What you want to do is click on one of those little dots and push in, and you'll see these red lines appear that'll make it nice and round. So that's what our object looks like. If you have a stroke on this object, all you have to do is click on it and remove the stroke. Make sure you do that at some point. And what we're going to do now is we're going to rotate this. So we're going to go to Object, Transform, Rotate, and we want to rotate this about 25 degrees, and we're going to hit OK. And I'm going to zoom out here so we can see our whole canvas. We're going to move our little thing to the side, and I want to recolor this because I want it to be a different kind of color. We want it a mid-blue color. So 313166. And it changes this mid-blue color. And we want to hold Shift and enlarge this to where it covers about 25 to 30% of our canvas. Now what we're going to do is we're going to erase all this excess stuff off. So how we do that is I make sure I click this object, hold Shift and click the background. And we're going to select this tool called the Shape Builder tool. So go ahead and select that. And how the Shape Builder tool works is if I hold Alt on the keyboard, you'll see a minus sign appear, and I can delete any of these three sections. You want to hold Alt and click on the sections you want to delete. And now what we have is a nice clean artboard. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add our planet. So I'm going to go to the ellipse tool. I'm going to hold Shift so it's nice and round. And before I do that, I want to make sure that I change the opacity. I want to teach you guys that. So go back to this object here. And how you reduce opacity of something is all you have to do is simply go to the gradient and click on that. And over here on the transparency, you can dock that down to about 80% or however you want to change the transparency. So that's something quick and easy for you guys to learn. So going back to our planet, I want to recolor this. So I'm going to double click on it, and it's isolated. But you don't have to isolate that. I just like to do it every once in a while just to get the colors in there. But we're going to change the color of that shape by clicking on it, double clicking on the color swatch, and we're going to change this to a cyan color. So 3CEE F4. And what we're going to do is we're going to move it over here to the side so it's off-centered. And we're going to take the rectangle tool once again and make those nice thin rectangles. So make a rectangle, take the black mouse, hold Alt, bump it straight down, and then Control D, however many times you would like. This is review, so hold Alt and push them in. And you want to do that to every other one. Again, this should be review. The last one should be long. Take the white direct selection tool, and we're going to make sure that's all selected. And we're going to go to, again, Window Pathfinder, or if it's still up, we're going to unite our shapes. And then the direct selection tool and push it in to make all of the shapes nice and round. Again, we're going to go to Object, Transform, Rotate, and it's going to rotate 25 degrees. Hit OK. And we're going to kind of place it over our planet, like so, about 25%. And we're going to change the color of this to like a darker blue color, so 34 BFD6. So it's a little bit darker. And again, we're going to cut the stuff away. So hold Shift, click the planet, go to the Shape Builder tool, hold Alt, and select the areas that you do not want. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add an outer glow. So the original circle that you had, this part, not the darker shade, we're going to select that, and we're going to go to Effect, Stylize, Outer Glow. And it's up to you as to what kind of outer glow you want, but just make sure you change the color. You can change the color to any color you want by hitting that dark black square. I'm just going to do a cyan color, so again the OCEEF4. So now it's blue. And I'm going to change the opacity to about 100%. And I want to see a preview as to what that would look like. And I can increase the blur if I would like. But I just want it nice and subtle. I'm actually going to put that to 20 points. I'm going to hit OK. And now I have this nice outer glow. We're going to add the second planet now. So again, this is repetitive, so I'm going to have the ellipse tool. I'm going to hold Shift, and I'm going to color this a magenta color. So I'm going to color this E517BE. It's going to turn out to be a magenta color. And then I want to create the little rectangles once again. So take my mouse, hold Alt, move it straight down. And if they're off, you can always repeat that again. So hold Alt, move it straight down, and then Control D. And every other one, you want to hold Alt and push it in. Okay. Select my entire thing, unite it, go to the white mouse, push it in, and I'm going to go back to my planet, make that just a little bit bigger. And again with my object, I go to Transform, Rotate, rotate 25 degrees. And this time I'm going to make this a darker magenta so it pops out a little bit more. So double click over here. We're going to try a different color. This time we're going to do AF AF2 B83, should be a darker magenta. And if it doesn't make a huge difference, you can always go back in and just click on the magenta you want. Okay, we're going to use Shape Builder by selecting both shapes, and then hold Alt and delete the part you want. And I like to select the whole object before I move it over onto the canvas. The last thing I'm going to talk about is stars. So you can make stars various ways. So I can either right click and here's my star tool. I want to make sure that's white or yellow. Make sure there's no stroke on it. Or another way you can make a star is use my ellipse tool, hold Shift, and then if I go up to Effect, Distort and Transform, Pucker and Bloat, make sure you have the preview on, you can pucker your stars as needed. So then if you hold Alt, you can simply move your stars around. You can resize them holding Shift, and you can just put stars wherever you would like. And that's pretty much it for the practice tutorial for the planets, and that's it.